Champion Nick Bockwinkle from Beverly Hills, California at 248 pounds. And here with me, the newly appointed commissioner of Southwest Championship Wrestling, a former world's champion himself. He held that title, I believe, 7 times, the great Lou Thez. And Lou, this Bockwinkle is a tough champion.
Yes, he is. I saw him at a very early age. In fact, I knew his father quite well, and he had a decent amateur career. And, of course, he had a lot of good coaching along the way, and the coaching really does pay off. And he emerged as heavyweight champion of the world. Been all over the world, has done very well for himself. He's in there against Mike Graham, who has a fine amateur record and has really done very well as a professional. It should be a very interesting match because this young man Graham has a lot of ambition, and no one is as tenacious as Nick Bockwinkle in hanging on to that title. It's going to be interesting.
Yes, it is. You see Bockwinkle, he had Graham up, but Graham had the leverage going his way, and Graham just took him right down. Mike Graham, who also has a famous wrestling father, the great Eddie Graham.
Yes, Eddie's a fine wrestler, and of course, this young man Graham has a very important evening cut out for him here. Nick is sometimes not a real spectacular wrestler, but he has so much know-how and so much basic wrestling knowledge that even though he does look bad at times, he may come out from underneath and hook his man and beat him at any time, so that's where it is.
Right now, it's Mike Graham holding on to the side headlock of the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkle. Bockwinkle on his knees. The referee checks with Nick to make sure that he doesn't want to concede. Of course, the champion is very seldom ever concedes. He likes to get in there and battle it out. Graham whipped into the ropes. Shoulder tackle. Down goes the world's champion. This time, he chicken winged him as he caught him there, and look at Graham move. Graham for a body slam. Oh, did Nick Bockwinkle bounce off that mat. Bockwinkle returns the favor as Graham is slammed down. Well, this is the kind of action you expect anytime you get a world's champion and a challenger in there.
Well, you've got some wrestlers out there tonight. These fellows really know what they're doing, and both of them have a lot of wrestling expertise, and I'm really excited. When I get excited, I know that the match is really going well because there's so many inside little things that the normal layman doesn't see. But both these boys have great reflex, wrestling knowledge, and these are the kind of matches that I would pay to see, you know.
Well, Lou, speaking not only of this match, as you look over the complete card we've got here on Southwest Championship Wrestling today, which is going around the United States nationwide, any promoter in any arena would like to have it.
Well, of course, and as I said, to repeat myself, when you see beautiful wrestling moves like these men are making here, it's exciting, and particularly if you're a wrestling student like some of my cohorts, people that have devoted their lives to wrestling, we see men like this in full swing in operation. It's really thrilling.
Right now, it's still Mike Graham holding on to Nick Bockwinkle. Remember, the world's heavyweight championship is not on the line. Bockwinkle reaches up, had a handful of hair. There's a shoulder tackle. Down goes Bockwinkle. Oh, there's that ring wiseness right there. He got the knee up in time.
He sure got the knee up in time, but for a large fellow, now Nicky weighs 235, 240. He moves around like a middleweight in there, and that's where it is. Many years ago, some of the really large fellows had slow reflex, and some of the junior heavyweights gave them a problem.
Here comes him bouncing off the ropes. He's got him rolled up. Does he get him? No, it was a 2 count, and Mike Graham almost pulled off the upset here.
Nearly had him there. Sharp young man.
Very sharp, yeah. Mike Graham holding on to the side headlock. The other voice you're hearing is of Lou Thez, the newly appointed commissioner of Southwest Championship Wrestling. Out here viewing this match involving the world's heavyweight champion and one of the contenders for the Southwest Heavyweight Championship. Here comes the count. It was 2 as Bockwinkle had got the leverage going his way and had Graham's shoulder down.
He was within 1 count of the pin. That's pretty close.
Well, Lou, did you ever get caught loafing and get your shoulders counted down for a 3 count in your career?
Well, I did when I first started wrestling, you know, but you get some pretty bitter lessons and you don't forget them. And when you get one taken away from you, well, you're very careful after that.
Right now, it's Mike Graham going for the victory he hopes here on Southwest Championship Wrestling against the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkle. Bockwinkle, as he told us earlier, has held that championship for 5 years. Anytime you hold a championship that long, you are really tough.
Well, yes, he's very tough, but he's got a lot more than that going for him. He's got a lot of heart, a lot of determination, and It's a crazy thing. I think some people are born with the will to win, you know, and they want to excel, and it involves a lot of things. Look at that sleeper.
Sleeper hold. The world's champion, Nick Bockwinkle, has it applied on Mike Graham. Can Graham work his way out or get to the ropes to get himself a break?
He slipped into that slipper so easily. Bockwinkle slipped into that so easily. He'll sneak up on you. He's so fast that his speed, you know, belies his size.
He sure does. He moves like a cat at that ring. There's no doubt about it. Back into the ropes. Oh, and Graham finally come up with something to knock the world's champion off. So Graham thinking ahead a move or two.
Well, he's been around the horn, too. This young man has a lot of expertise.
Back into the corner they go. They just about got the referee in there that time. There's a nice arm drag, and Mike Graham brings the world's champion down, but he doesn't keep him long. Right back he goes again. Well, Bockwinkle caught with a 1 count that time as Mike Graham out of Tampa, Florida, goes to the side headlock. You're watching Southwest Championship Wrestling from the Junction in San Antonio, Texas. Wrestling at its best Texas style.
Well, this match will sure tell you that. Fantastic wrestling. Really fine wrestling.
Referee Jack Howell walking around to make sure that there's nothing going on behind the back of the world's champion, Nick Bockwinkle. Holding on to that side headlock. Mike Graham is backed into the corner of the world's champion, Nick Bockwinkle, in front. And there is a knee. Another knee by the world's champion as he begins to get things going his way as he's trying to injure the left knee of Mike Graham.
Well, you know, Nick will take any kind of advantage, just enough to keep from getting disqualified, or, you know, but he'll take any advantage possible, anything.
Nice scissor to the leg right there.
He sure did. That's a beautiful takedown. But he's a very sharp wrestler. And when the chips are down, when a hell of a fella's held the title for 5 years, it's pretty tough to bet against him.
That's right. You've got to get in there and you got to beat him because he's not going to beat himself.
That's right. He's not. He's made his errors over the years, and he's not going to repeat the same ones, or he wouldn't be there.
Has that leg lock now. World champion Nick Bockwinkle with the leg lock on Mike Graham. This the opening match here on Southwest Championship Wrestling. Holding on to that leg, Nick Bockwinkle, as Graham tries to figure out a way to get out of there. He's trying to force Bockwinkle down. He had the shoulders down for a 1 count.
Sure did. You know, it's a crazy thing. We say this is a first match. First match used to be called Curtain Raisers. This is a super main event here for any place in the world, and it's really crazy. Of course, this is television today, and they may say a super match like this, like for the first match. What they can do to follow this, I don't know.
It's going to be hard, but we're going to match it, I'll tell you what, because a little later on, Adrian Adonis is going to be out there, and you know what Adrian can do. There's a shoulder tackle, down goes Bockwinkle, and another leg scissor. Now you see how quick he just snapped in there and come up with that leg, and he has the power just to scissor it and take him down.
Well, he moves like a middleweight, and he's going to hang on to that leg because he's got him going in that direction now, and he's got it weak enough, and he keeps working on it. He very well make him concede with it, and that's what he's working for. Mike says no, but I'm not sure.
Mike Graham reaches up there and grabs the head of Bockwinkle, trying to get Bockwinkle to relieve that pressure on his legs. He does, and it's Graham now holding on to the head of the world's heavyweight champion, Nick Bockwinkle. Graham holding on tight.
Working his leg, loosening it up, see if he can't get more circulation in it. Graham is moving that leg around as much as he can.
Was tied up there for a while on that scissor by Bockwinkle. They're in the corner. The world's champions in front. Let's see what Bockwinkle does. Buries his shoulder into the midsection. There's another one. Boy, this will take it out of you in a hurry.
Sure, he's trying to weaken his man. Get him ready. That's it.
There's the
by degrees. Just little by little. By degrees, you get him.
He snapped him out of that corner. Had a 2 count on him. Now the world's champion goes in, grabs Graham. Oh, there's a backbreaker. It could be all over right here. 1, 2. Oh, and somehow Mike Graham come out from underneath. I thought it was all over.
That young man has a lot of intestinal fortitude. He really hang in there.
World champion Nick Bockwinkle staying on top of him. That's a legal forearm right to the side of the head. Grabs him by the hair. Slams him into the turnbuckle. Mike Graham holds on to that left side of his head as Bockwinkle smells victory. Grabs him by the arm. Whips him all the way across the ring into the turnbuckle on the other side. He goes in kicking. Nice move from the world champion. A reversal by Graham. The world champion in a corner. Graham lays one to the side of the jaw. Snap there. There's the bell. There's the bell, and the time limit has expired here for this match on Southwest Championship Wrestling. And there you have it, Lou, a great battle to a draw between the world's champion Nick Bockwinkle and Mike Graham.
Well, that is really fantastic. They've squeezed about an hour of wrestling into how many minutes was it?
10.
My Lord, that's something, isn't it?